What's up, Titan fans? How we doing? Welcome to the Week 9 show where the Tennessee Titans versus the New England Patriots at Nissan Stadium. I was just wanting to get on real quick before the game, send out a few raw thoughts I had going towards the game, going into the game, because things we found out updates over the last couple of days. Like, we definitely know it's going to be Mason Rudolph leading the way today. Will Levis has been ruled out. He is inactive. But before I get started into things, let me go ahead and insert a plug. If you're not following me on YouTube, TikTok, and X, make sure to follow me on all three platforms. I put out content all throughout the week. I'm talking Monday through Friday with pregame shows, post-game shows, and anything else Tennessee Titans related. And then on Sundays, I do either a watch party or a halftime report. Today I'm doing some raw thoughts before the game kicks off. Hold on one second. Okay. So yes, make sure to follow me on all platforms. The handle's the same no matter where you go. It's the What's Up Titans pod on every platform. Make sure to follow, like, do all that jazz. And make sure, if you're here watching right now, leave comments down in the comment section below. Let's have a conversation. Let me know how you feel about the Tennessee Titans this week when they take on the New England Patriots, because we can talk about it. I read every single comment. But look, getting into this game, I hope we win the game. I really do. Even though I know it's better in the long term if we lose, because it helps our draft stock and we can get better. But we need to win the game. We need some motivation on this team. I know it's just Rudolph out there. I was really, really hoping we'd get to see Will Levis, because I want to see him come back in and turn things around. We may get to see it next week because he's been out a few weeks now. But we need to see Will Levis and know where he's at. That's what this whole season is about, is seeing what we have in Will Levis. It's pointless to play Rudolph. I know Will Levis is hurt. They don't want him to come back injured and do horrible, but we need him to do well. Hey, what up, Frosty? Hola, I see you in the house. Frosty's in the house. Frosty's always here every single week. He's a fan of the Chan. Hey, what's up, PD Prods? Pats fan here. No chance Titans win unless Drake May gets hurt again. Oh, so you guys are playing Drake May. I guess that is confirmed, because I know coming into the week, it was between him and Brissett. We didn't really know who was playing between you guys. I know we found out yesterday, that it's definitely going to be Mason Rudolph. Will Levis has been ruled out. So, it's going to be Mason Rudolph against Drake May. And Drake May, hey, I'm glad we get to play him, get to see where the young man's at. I believe he's only played 5 quarters of football so far, so he's still young into his career. But hey, I'm ready to see what Drake May brings to the table and see if he is worth that draft pick that y'all spent on him. Because that's who you guys drafted. That's who your coach drafted. Unlike us, we have Will Levis, who he inherited coming into the job, and it's just kind of been a bust for us. But maybe when he comes back, he'll have a turnaround. We can see the ceiling we saw last year whenever it was, against the Atlanta Falcons or the Miami Dolphins, when he did pretty well both those weeks last year. Because other than that, it's just been a downhill struggle for Will Levis. But I know he's been playing banged up and injured. So once they get him back to full health, possibly we could see him, because we have a lot of injuries right now to speak of. I mean, look, I'm looking at the injury report right now. Ruled out for this game, we're talking Will Levis, right? Starting QB. L'Jarius Sneed, starting cornerback number 1, right? Tajay Spears is out, which is like our second string runner back. Dylan Radins, a starting offensive lineman, is out. DMR, which is a practice squad, basically tight end. He's just been on the roster all season, wasting up an active roster spot, but he's injured. Cedric Gray, someone we drafted with like the fourth round pick, and he's out. Trey Avery's out, he's always on the team, even though he's more of a practice squad player. Colton Dahl's out. And then we have many people on the injured reserve. Andrew Rupchik, Jalen Duncan, Traylon Burks, Owuzie, McClendon, Chance Campbell, Wallow, and Davison. So we have a ton of people that are injured right now. We got some more comments from Frosty real quick. Who will win? Who will the Titans even draft if they do get a pick? Look, depends on where we draft in the draft. Right now, it's looking like we're going to be top 5, right? So I mean, right now, the only team that's ahead of us, really, we're number 2 right now. The only team that's ahead of us right now is the Panthers. So we need a quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback depending on who's available. If we draft 1 or 2, it's probably going to be between the 3 top QB quarterbacks right now, the prospects. You're talking about Shador Sanders, Quinn Ewers, and Cam Ward out of Miami. So, we're going to get one of them guys at QB because we have to fix the quarterback situation. Like I said, unless something crazy happens when Will Levis gets back and he just turns the season around and he just comes out on fire and just wins a ton of games and we fall back in the draft and he shows promise and they're like, okay, he's our guy. We just got to build around him. Then I can see them not taking a quarterback. But right now, if it was to draft today, it would be one of them 3 quarterbacks because we desperately need a QB. Okay, we got another comment from Sean Augustus. Start Chargers D or Patriots D? Oh, dude, you might want to start the Patriots D. Look, the offense for the Tennessee Titans is not good. We have a horrible turnover ratio. I think we've only committed 2 turnovers this year on our defense. In our offense, we lead the league. So we have the worst turnover ratio in the league. So you might want to go ahead and start the Patriots defense because our offense, we've only put over 17 points one time this season, and that was against the Miami Dolphins when they had Huntley in at QB, who they picked up off the street and was on the team for probably like 10 days. And then we played them. And that game we put up like 31 points. I think it was 30. But yes, that's the only time we've put up over 17 points this season. We're probably going to score somewhere between the range of 10 to 14 points this week. So you might want to start the Patriots defense. In your offense, we're probably going to lose this game. Like, just to be honest, like as a raw thought out there, we're going to lose this game. He said, yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, I'm telling you, that's the way to go. In fantasy, you might want to always pick the team that's going against the Tennessee Titans for the defense because y'all going to get plenty of turnovers. I mean, we got Mason Rudolph. He has 3 interceptions on the year. You'd probably get more if it was Will Levis out there. But with Mason Rudolph, he's still going to make interceptions. You know what I'm saying? We got some more comments right now. Titans defense isn't that bad in my opinion. Hey, look, talking about the Titans defense, it doesn't look bad on paper, but it's a little overrated, right? Last week, we allowed the Lions to put up 52 points. And granted, Jared Goff, he had under 100 yards passing. It was like 80 something. So the stats look good, right? We have like the number 1 pass defense in the league right now. But it's because our offense is so bad and we commit turnovers. The defense, they don't have to stop the people from a lot of yards. A lot of times they score only having to go 20, 30, 40 yards. So teams aren't driving all the way down the field. And then our special teams is atrocious. We allowed a punt return for a touchdown. Every time the Gunners on the special teams, either on punt coverage or kick coverage, they always miss the initial tackle. So teams are always getting into the midfield or even a little further. So teams aren't having to travel far to score touchdowns. So that's why our defense looks good on paper, but in reality, the defense allows a touchdown almost every drive. You saw it with the Bills. Anytime we play a decent team, the Bills scored every drive in every possession, I think in the second half, and so did the Lions. It's been pitiful. Let's see. We got some more comments by PD Prods. What up, PD? Hey, PD, make sure to go ahead, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps the channel out. Go ahead and send some love this way. But he said, injuries ruined the game, but our defense isn't good without Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers. And Peppers is on the exemption list. With Duggar out with an ankle injury, the Patriots defense is going to have to step up. Yeah, it's going to be a defensive struggle out there. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Like when I did my pregame show on Friday, I talked about how it's going to be a low-scoring game. The Titans are going to score anywhere between 10 to 14 points, and I think the Patriots are going to outdo us. They're going to be somewhere between 17 and 21. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I mean, there were some NFL analysts out there. If you saw the NFL analyst picks, one predicted the game was going to be like 6-8. Some crazy score like that. So, hey, it's basically a baseball score is what they were showing. No one's expecting a lot of points this game because, both offenses typically struggle. Hey, PD Pro says up as a team. And then Frosty, didn't the Cowboys also let up like 50 points too? Yeah, the Cowboys, they've done it this season. I mean, you seen they got blown out by the Saints earlier in the season. The Saints, they won their first 2 weeks of the season, lost every game since then. And, they did put up like 50 points against the Cowboys. I think it's happened a couple times against the Cowboys this year. PD Pros already did. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, you too, Sean. Hey, I appreciate the love coming this way because we need it. Hey, it's sometimes it's tough being a Titans fan, but you guys help out over here, sending the love this way, getting to talk about football each and every week, which I'd love to do, especially Titans football. But look, let's go ahead and get into some of these stats going into the season, right? The team stats right now. So if you look for team stats for passing touchdowns, we only have 7 passing touchdowns on the year, and that's between both our quarterbacks. We're only above 4 teams right now. We're 5th worst in passing touchdowns. We do not score. We don't put up a lot of points in general. But then in interceptions, right? Our quarterbacks throwing interceptions, we are tied for 2nd in the league for the most interceptions. We're tied with the Raiders. The Panthers have 11. They have more because we know their quarterback situation they have right now with Bryce Young and then Andy Dalton. They don't know what they're doing with them boys over there, but they are struggling just like us. But it is a surprise because the Bucs also have 9. They're right behind us, even though Baker has a ton of touchdowns. I mean, they have 21 passing touchdowns on the year, but Baker does throw his fair share of interceptions. Then if we go to the rushing stats, which I know Tony Pollard has been a big part of our offense this year. Really, he's been our only offense, but we still don't have that much rushing yards. I mean, we're 2nd to last in the league in rushing. And we only have 838 rushing yards. We're only ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. And that's even with Tony Pollard being our star player on our offense. We are at the bottom of the league in rushing. I mean, you can tell we don't have Derrick Henry. You can tell that the team has changed. I mean, we're trying to get to this passing offense, the modernized offense as what's his name? Callahan likes to call it, even though we haven't seen it yet. I mean, he's tried to do it, but he has inherited this terrible roster, this Vrabel run the ball, play good defense roster, and it just hasn't been working out. He hasn't been able to get the roster to adapt to this team. Then let me go to the defense real quick to see where our defense is. Like I said, I think we're 1st for passing defense, but I can confirm in a second. Yes, we are. We're number 1 in the league in passing defense for passing yards, right? We have 1,173 passing yards. The next closest team is the Dolphins with 1,296, so it's almost like a 100-yard difference. But, our pass defense in yards is good. But like I said, don't let it fool you now. Don't let the stats fool you because teams are getting short yardage on us, short field position, so they can just drive down the field, score a touchdown. Because when you also look for touchdowns allowed, I mean, we have 11. We're in the middle of the pack right now, right in the middle. So we do allow a lot of touchdowns to happen, even though you're getting short fields against us. And then with interceptions, our defense only has 1 interception on the season, so the stats aren't good. So, like, if you're trying to use the Titans' defense in fantasy football, it's not a good idea. It's not a good choice because we don't commit turnovers. Yeah, they don't get a lot of yards on us, but they get a lot of touchdowns, and we don't commit turnovers. We got some more comments in the chat from Scream. He said, Calvin Ridley is y'all best player. Oh, he was last week. The last couple weeks he wasn't. Before that, as you've seen, one game he had 0 catches on 8 targets. The next game he had 3 catches on 9 targets. So in total, that was 3 catches and 17 targets, even though I know they were throwing it to him in double and triple coverage, and some of the passes was completely uncatchable. But still, it's been a struggle with him. He did go off last week with Rudolph throwing on the ball. They finally had some connection for the first week of the season, and hopefully that continues. We'll see if it's able to go on to next week. Next comment from Frosty. A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry wasn't a great trade for y'all. Yeah, the A.J. Brown trade will go down in history as one of the worst Tennessee Titans decisions ever made. I mean, we ended up getting Treylon Burks with that draft pick, and Treylon Burks, he's a practice squad player, really. I mean, this guy is worth nothing, and he gets injured so much. This year, he caught 1 catch. On that 1 catch, guess what? He got injured, and he's on IR. So the man is so fragile. We haven't seen him play. It's the same thing when we drafted Caleb Farley and them. We draft these injury-prone players, even though Burks wasn't really injury-prone in college, but as soon as he became a Tennessee Titan, he was injury-prone. But A.J. Brown is off having outstanding seasons with the Eagles, and it's just showing how the Tennessee Titans organization is. We didn't want to pay A.J. Brown, but yet we pay receivers, like Ridley, who he's a good receiver, but he's definitely not on A.J. Brown's level. When we could have paid A.J. Brown, we could have just paid him the money, but stuff like that doesn't happen. And then Derrick Henry, a lot of it was a mutual agreement. A lot of Titans fans thought it was time to move on, try to modernize this team. He was ready to move on. I'm glad he's doing good things over in the Ravens, even though, hey, real quick, if you're new to the channel, just know I hate the Ravens. I hate them with a passion. So, hey, I hope the Ravens lose every single game, but I'm glad Derrick Henry's doing well, even though he is a Raven. Next comment. We're going back to Scream. He said, "Oh, I love the AJ Brown trade. Hey, fly Eagles fly. Hey, I bet you do. If you are an Eagles fan, you love it. He's an outstanding player. Eagles got playmakers all around, and I hope that's what the Tennessee Titans eventually come around to. Because in all the drafts, we've been getting linemen all in the first or second round. I mean, if you look at our offensive line, they're all like we drafted Isaiah Wilson, didn't work out. Peter Skoronski, we got him. We got Dylan Radins. We got Duncan, which was like a 7th round pick. But we keep getting linemen in the early rounds of the draft. We need to actually get some playmakers on this team. That is what we're lacking, is playmakers." Next said, "It's due to QB play, though I think he needs to be consistent QB." Yeah, he really does need a consistent QB, but also some of it's just not getting open. I mean, when coming into the season, when you looked at our roster, I mean, we had D-Hop. We had Ridley, Boyd. We're like, oh, yeah, one of them's going to be open. But it was like, when you look at the film, I mean, a lot of them's still not open. And right now, it's hard for him to get open, especially with D-Hop leaving, Boyd being injured. So who we got out there? We got Calvin Ridley, right? The one guy, the one playmaker we have. And then we have a guy like NWI on the other side. Burks is hurt, So, like, who do we have? We just called up Oliver from the practice squad. And then what's the other guys like Mason Kinsley and stuff? Like, we don't have many good playmakers on the team. And then, we kept 5 tight ends, but we haven't seen much of them. I mean, now DMR is on IR or whatever. So, we have Wiley, who we see catch the ball, but he doesn't make big plays. He doesn't make those splash plays. He's just like a possession receiver. Chig, who showed promise, a couple years ago, but haven't seen much of him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really do much. Our tight ends is very weak. Look, I was a big fan of Brock Bowers. I hoped we got Brock Bowers in the draft. I know there was a Titans fans that were like, we should not draft a tight end in the first round. I get it. You don't want to draft too high, but he is killing it this year. He's looking amazing. I think he leads the league in receptions or something like that. It's crazy how good Brock Bowers is doing for the Raiders right now. Let's keep moving on with the next comments. He said, "Hey, see you, bro. Let's have a good game. Let's go, Pats." All right, bro. See you later, PD. I'll be there next week for sure. Hey, appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, Scream, what's your thoughts on the Eagles? Just curious. Oh, I agree. F the Ravens. Hey, I think the Eagles are an outstanding team. They're going to be obviously a Super Bowl contender. They're up there with like the Lions and the Chiefs. They're one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl and everything like that. And they have a chance to win it every single week. Hurts plays outstanding. I mean, y'all got Shaquan Barkley back there as our runner back. He's outstanding. You guys are stacked end to end. And it's crazy y'all don't win every single game, to be honest. He said, "I dislike the Eagles." Oh, Frosty, he don't like the Eagles. He said, "Hey, I feel the same about the 49ers and the Cowboys and Chiefs." Yeah, look, a lot of people don't like the Chiefs because of, the whole Swifty situation. The NFL hypes them up. You get all the rules with them and stuff. Like, the refs just play for the Chiefs, it seems, nonstop. A lot of people don't like the Cowboys because they're America's team, and ESPN and SportsCenter, they always talk positive light of the Cowboys. So a lot of fans tend to not like them because of it. And then the Niners. Hey, Niners just been good the last few years. I know a lot of people didn't like them some years ago with the Kaepernick stuff, but I think the Niners come around. People seem to like them for the most part. Frosty said, "Eagles are annoying and aren't a fun team to watch. You lost Jason Kelsey, the mainstream attack." Yeah, hey. Eagles are, I think they're fun to watch. I mean, I think they're good. I know they lost Jason Kelsey. He's off doing his thing. I think he was on the Pat McAfee show. He was pretty fun to watch. Yep, 100% agree. Should have kept Willis low-key as well. Yeah, Willis was a bad trade. As you see, he came in. We traded him for like a 7th round pick. Then he went to the Packers, and he came to Tennessee and he beat us. He beat us on our home turf. He blew us out, we couldn't stop him. He looked like an all-star QB against us, of course. And that's why I said, hey, don't bet on the Titans defense. It looks overrated, you know what I'm saying? As you see, Malik Willis lit us up along with Josh Allen. And, Jared Goff, he didn't put up a lot of yards, but the team still put up tons of points on us. Let's see. Hey, Jeffrey said, hi. Hey, Jeffries, what up, man? How you doing? Let me know. Oh, I see you got a chat going later on. I'm about to get to it in a second. He said, hey, Frost, respectfully, your opinion seems pretty biased. What's up? Hey, hey, people have biased opinions based on their team. There's certain teams I don't like. Like I said, I hate the Ravens. There's other teams I don't like. Like, obviously, the rivals within our division. I'm not a Texans fan. I'm not a Jags fan or a Colts fan. I got basically 4 teams I really don't like, and that's just what I'm rolling with, brother. All right. He said, hey, Jeffrey said, who do you have winning the Chargers versus Browns game today? I have the Chargers because they're my favorite team. Hey, I agree. I think the Chargers can win because the Browns have been terrible. But I got to say, since the Browns ended up putting in Winston, man, I love Jameis Winston. He has, like, the best attitude in the league. I love that guy at quarterback. I love all his pregame speeches and postgame speeches. Hey, I just want the best for Jameis Winston, He's over there eating W's, I hope he continues to do well, even though I think the Chargers are going to beat them. They have a better roster overall. Frost said, yes, screams. I see a lot of W's over there. Is that it is biased. Yeah, Frosty, yeah, I agree. Hey, everybody's biased with their teams, right? Everybody has their teams they hate and don't like. It just comes with the territory. Then Jeffries, I feel like the Chargers versus Browns game will be very close game. Hey, it could be. You never know. Hey, but the Chargers do have a better roster. I mean, and Herbert's just a good QB all the way around. So you guys will be fine, I think. And y'all should win, but who knows? But look, let's get back into some stats while I'm waiting on these comments to fill up again. Let's see, for rush defense, the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, we have a pretty good rush defense. Let's see, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. 8th in the league for rushing yards. But like I said, don't let the stats fool you because we don't commit turnovers. Because if we go to the turnover sections, let's say for fumbles, right? Forced fumbles, we're at the bottom of the league. We only have 4 forced fumbles on the year, which is tied for 3rd to last. The only team that doesn't have any is the Raiders, which is wild. Fumbles recovered, we only have 2 fumbles recovered. So 2 fumbles recovered and 1 interception, 3 turnovers on the year. And we haven't had a lot of yardage against us, but we have lots of points because they always score on us. It's just short field. So like I said, the stats are skewed here. They are skewed by a lot. All right, we got some more comments. Jeffries, I feel like the Chargers. Oh, we already read that. And then Scream. Hey, Jameis is one of the best characters in the league. It says something is really off in interviews a lot. Yeah. Hey, he is. He is one of the best characters. I love Jameis Winston. I hope he does well. But look, the game's about to start. I'm going to go ahead and get started watching the game. But I'll be back for the halftime report. So make sure you tune back in to where we can see where the Tennessee Titans are and see if they're going to end up with the lead or not. But even if they are, they typically fold in the second half, as you've seen all season. They can't score in the second half at all. We put up 10 points, in the last couple of games, and we stay basically there. We don't put up anything in the second half. But, hey, let me know more down in the comments below on how you feel about this team. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tighten up, baby. Peace.